Hey guys, Aaron here from Overlanding Garage, and have you ever gotten into your vehicle and this happens? Nothing. Crickets. Vehicle won't start. Well, it could be something very, very simple, just like wire connections to your battery. I'm going to show you how to do maintenance on your battery yearly so you can prevent little things like this from happening. Now, battery maintenance isn't something we typically think of when we get underneath the hood of the car, whether we're changing just a windshield wiper fluid or checking the engine oil or whatever. We really don't ever come over and look at the battery. And in today's new cars, they make it even harder. As you notice now, there's a nice cover on it. We've capped off the positive side, although you can still see the negative. So it's hard to see any corrosion buildup when it's covered, and you have this nice cover on top of the battery as well. Now, on the older vehicles like Project TJ, we see that the battery is much more exposed. There's no covers on it, and you can see it fairly easy. And if you notice on this terminal right here, on the positive terminal, we have some corrosion buildup. So we want to take care of that. Now, that could be the culprit. That could be the reason why the vehicle is not starting. It could be a dead battery. It could be your alternator. However, if you don't take care of corrosion like that, it will get worse and worse, and it could lead to the point where the vehicle will not start. You're going to need a box wrench to take off the nuts that hold the battery cables onto the battery. You're going to need some sort of wire brush or toothbrush. Either one will work. I like a toothbrush, but a wire brush or even steel wool will work for this application. You're going to need some Vaseline or some petroleum jelly, some baking soda, a little bit of water, and all I did was I just cut the top of a Gatorade bottle off and filled up some water, safety glasses, and absolutely some gloves when you're dealing with the battery. Now you're ready to do the maintenance on the battery. There are a few steps before you disconnect the battery. One, make sure that the ignition is off. There is no key in the ignition. And second, when you are removing your battery, or even cleaning your battery, you want to remove the cables. You want to start off with the negative terminal first, which is usually indicated with a black wire. And there usually is a minus sign around here somewhere on the battery. And the positive is typically red. And if you can see the plus sign right there, that's the positive. Now, what's holding on this battery cable right here is this nut right here. So we're going to take our box wrench and we're going to take that sucker right off. Once you have the nut removed, you simply want to lift, twist, and lift it off the battery, just like so, and put it off to the side. We can now do the same process on this end, removing the nut right here and taking this off in the same fashion. It's not always going to be peaches and cream and go really easy. I watch a lot of other, automotive YouTube channels, and seemingly everything goes perfect and everything is easy. That's not the case, and that's not the case on this channel. I'm going to show you the hard stuff too. This nut right here on the positive terminal is shredded. It's stripped to beat, and I'm having just the hardest time getting it off. I had to break out a ratchet, had to break out an old school wrench in order to start it. But now I got it moving, so we're gonna replace it. But you're gonna run into problems like this, guys. Don't let it frustrate you. You can work through it. I am unable to take this cable off this battery terminal. It is just like fused and welded on there. So grab yourself a pair of pliers and gently wiggle and squeeze until it comes off. Once you have the battery cables disconnected from the battery, it's a great time to just inspect the battery in general. Inspect your cables, make sure they're not worn or frayed out. Does the battery itself look like it's swollen or bloated? It's a great opportunity to take a look at any other issues you might be having. Now we're ready to make our cleaning solution. We have our water from our little bottle here, and we have some baking soda. We're gonna put just a little bit in, like so. We're going to stir that up with our toothbrush. And this will be our cleaning solution to clean the terminals. Now that we have the cleaning solution made, we're going to take our toothbrush or our wire brush and we're going to just scrub the heck out of these terminals. Now you might see some bubbling going on, some action going on. That's okay. That's just a baking soda interacting with the acid on the battery. That's perfectly normal. Just scrub away until they're clean. Now that we have scrubbed and brushed and cleaned the battery terminals and the cables themselves, we can rinse it off with just some clean water. And guys, take a look at the battery now. It looks so much better. Remember the positive cable, all the gunk and all the corrosion it had on it. Look how much better that looks. The negative one looks better as well. Just overall, the battery looks so much better than it did. This is exactly what you're aiming for. Now, I do want to note that before you put any petroleum jelly on here, make sure your battery is completely 100% dry. We are now nearing the very end of the process maintenance on our battery, and we are ready to add the Vaseline petroleum jelly onto the actual terminals themselves. Now, not only is this going to help with conduction between the battery and the cables, it's also going to help with any corrosion buildup that you might get in the future. Now that you have the petroleum jelly on the actual terminals, you want to reinstall your battery cables. And it's the exact opposite of what we did when we disconnected it. Remember, we started with the negative and then we went to the positive. When you're reconnecting your battery, you want to put the positive on first, followed by the negative. Don't forget the hardware. Everything is now buttoned up, tightened up, and ready to go. And the only thing left to do is to get inside her and see if she starts. We are back in the Jeep. The moment of truth. Is it going to turn over? Is it going to start? Let's find out. And there you go. And that is it, guys. It is really that simple and that easy to do maintenance on your battery. Anybody can do it. Very limited tools, very limited supplies that you need to actually do this job. And it's gonna help maintain the life of your battery as well. And you won't get stuck in that situation where your car might not start when you need it most. So if you have any questions or comments, post them below. I'd be happy to help. Until next time, I am Aaron. This is Overland and Garage. Peace.